Hello everyone, it is Friday the 28th of February. I cannot believe we're here already. It's utterly nuts. Yeah, welcome to the stream and welcome to the people following the Aesir Fleet backer kit campaign we officially funded last night. Yay! Hopefully you guys can hear me. Joining me in the background soonish will be Albin. It sounds like he's making coffee, although... Things have gotten difficult here. We don't know what might happen, but apparently the town has been poisoned with some kind of bacteria. So we can't drink the water anymore. It's like full on America here at this point in time. So, welcome. Swedish water is usually perfect, like nice and delicious, and also free of a certain extra thing that controls your minds, right? So anyway, I'm just giving it a bad, giving John a hard time mostly, although I respect that a lot of you might be US based as well. So today, not entirely sure what we're going to focus on. I think it'll be mostly interior work. Albin's been working on the Valkyria. All but the engineering deck are finished now and being test printed. I've been test printing a number of different decks, mostly on the Nidhogg. The Fenrir. The Fenrir is completely finished. So why don't I say g'day to the chat and we can get moving on, and perhaps we can wait for a few more people to turn up. So who we got today in the chat? I can see we have Tamsin, Derivative Content, Jaren, Solo Spirits here, Shergol, of course. Kathy is here. Hey, Kathy, how's the campaign going? I need to give that a shout out pretty soon in one of the next updates. We've got John, of course, our colleague across the pond, who hopefully is hard at work finishing up the... John, what's the name of the little craft you created? Has the name been chosen yet? We have a new Tribes release coming out tomorrow. I don't know. We have Aerospace Smith here, we have Stosh here, we have Mad Mike, and Blasted is here as well. Wonderful. So yeah, thank you for joining me. What are people saying? You see and hear the stream, that is good. Sight and sound. Hi everyone. John is making coffee, hopefully not as poisoned as the stuff that Albin is drinking. Needs more lead to get on our level. Yeah, lead or the flammable contents in any case. But yeah, hi everyone, congrats on the campaign. Thank you, Aerospace Smith. Greetings, and yeah. Oh, the campaign's slow, as you expect. Well, let's see if we can push that a little bit. So, Kathy has a wonderful campaign on Kickstarter. I need the link. I've got it here somewhere. No, I've got so many Kickstarter windows open, it's kind of hard sometimes to find them. Let me go and grab that real quick. Let's see, the sewer district. This will just be a regular link to it, but we can put that in the chat there for anyone watching. So let's check this out real quick. If I can find the chat again. I have this habit of switching windows whilst I'm live, so there it is there. Check it out if you haven't, and we can do that really quick as well. Whoopsie doozy. There we go. So, yeah. Worthy project, very cool paint job. Really showing off your skills and talents there, Kathy. I love this project. I backed it straight away. I even backed it without the early bird because it just felt too cheap. So it is extremely reasonably priced at, I guess it's £28 right now, so about $35 to $38, something like that. Tons of files, very modular. There's a lot of things that can get unlocked here if we can get a bit more of a move on with the campaign. So that's wonderful. Check it out. I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now because obviously I want to focus on my campaign. But yeah, check it out if you haven't. All right. Speaking of my campaign, the Aesir Fleet, um, we. Let me just double check that this isn't going to. Oh, it's living me right now, which is wonderful. Live. Here we go. Let's get Inception going.
That continues.
There we go. Inception. It's happening. I just can hear those big horns going. Bah, 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 bah. Good morning, Brian from Ottawa.
Morning.
So yeah, the most important thing is we funded last night, which is wonderful. Thank you very much. We hit 300,000 crowns. I did a few posts clarifying what the details is. Apparently, I forgot to mention in some of the pledge levels that, for example, the stretch goals are included with it. Basically, if you make a pledge, the stretch goals related to that product are included. So if you go for just the all new ships pledge, that would be if you already own the Sleipnir and Kickstarter edition and you don't want the updated version. Those stretch goals are included. Also, there will be more add-ons, and it appears just kind of like Kickstarter. I should have anticipated this, but I was very, very stressed out last week. I worked 7 days, putting in an average of 12 hours a day. It was intense, and now on top of that, probably water poisoning. So it has been a bit of a rush in the end. Honestly, we also could have survived another week or two preparing, but it's one of those things where you kind of got to pick a date ahead of time. Hope you got enough budget to survive that period, because for anyone who's not familiar with running a company that has a particular burn rate every month and wages to pay, we can only ever get so much runway. So this time we seem to be in a good place. I probably should have waited another week or two in hindsight, but hey, we're here now, it's going, and you'll get to see some awesome development as we kick along. I also added a new story element based on the Sleipnir Sleipnir refit. What? This doesn't appear to be it. There we go. So it is just, and some delivery details. So this is just text at the moment, but it does explain some of the changes. I'm going to add visual aids over the weekend because I can't help but work on weekends. That's right. It has a potato name, the Kotel. John's ship that he's working on. So maybe there will be a surprise extra stream after this. There have been a number of ones so far. I think it's now being worked on the rear of the ship. We discussed it very early this morning for John. But yeah, a little bit more information. And now I'm excited to say we are actually working on some stretch goals. And I also need a stretch goals section to add that once I get home. But because I don't think there is a really obvious place for it all. It doesn't. Now that I'm seeing it, like, is there anywhere where this actually turns up? I think it needs a section. So maybe we can.
Is it pledge?
I'm trying to consider, can we do this on the back end now whilst on stream? Is there any sensitive information? I'm trying to look and see, because we have they're called achievements in this, and so these say that they're published, but I don't see anywhere where we can actually see it. Is it under community? It doesn't look like it. Discover seems to be other campaigns.
Yeah, Rasmus says it is on the community, but
maybe you have to scroll down a lot.
yeah.
So I think we need a new story area. So let's do that real quick and just add a new section. And I think this is safe. So I'm going to put this over because we can talk about them as well at the same time. So let's just go add a new one, and we can very quickly look at the achievements list, and you can see some of the ones I've set up so that you guys can get a preview. If we were to hit 1,000 pledges, I really don't think it's going to happen, especially not now. It looks like we will be lucky to get 400 or something like that. I would do a whole new ship, but that whole new ship is based on the Sphere platform, so not starting from zero. Anyway, let's get this going real quick. And where did I want to be? Story. There we go. And the experience so far has been good. The team back at Kid is good. The way they do advertising is good, although you do have to qualify. And like, for example, smaller campaigns aren't going to qualify for that. I think really we only qualify because I have all my past campaigns that I can show off. So let me just get you guys back up with the chat. So, what? Stretch goals in the community tab. Alright, yeah, let's make it anyway. Stretch goals / achievements. I wonder if it turns up once they're unlocked. We're pretty close to unlocking a few of them. Throughout the campaign, we will unlock some awesome stretch goals. Here are a few of them that are upcoming. So this should do for now. It's very bare bonesy. But if I get into our, let's see, stretch goals, I think one of our earlier ones are these turrets. Let's see, so bold and title, and we go PDC variants. I like a bit more spacing in here, so let's go down there. I believe this one is at, let me double check. Achievements on the other screen there, and PDC weapon variants is at 250 pledges. There we go. Sorry about the slow typing here. I used to be faster back in the day.
That's kind of what we've been saying.
It's 3:25 p.m. So, once we hit 325,000, we're releasing a pack of Sense Agreeables, which has this graphic. We'll just do a little explanation. This came out of one of our last streams, which was really exciting to work on because I got very inspired, as you can kind of see. I think I just made one of these on stream like a couple of weeks back, and it turned into all of these. This isn't going to be it because I'm too inspired. But basically, we have a combination of open lock clips and supporty clips. Compatible items. They all print flat, so they're super strong. They're in the correct orientation. There are some cylindrical items that just got a tiny little flat bottom so that, they're not going to curl too much. It is important to let these cool before you try and take them off because they will otherwise curl. But yeah, so let's see. A collection of Nernies and Greebles, or Greeblies. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I can plug into open lock and support clip ports on all well, technically all products, but that sounds misleading. Further customization of your vessels. So pretty simple descriptions. And then I think maybe we can put up the Ratatosk Oh, the Valkyria weapon mounts. Where's the image for that one, Albin?
I think it's in the... I can have a look. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'll put up... Oh, no, there it is. Hard points, yeah, I found it. Let's see, we want the JPG for the background. Did we decide on the amount? That's at 350, so... Let's... 350! Loch Ness Monster!
Yeah.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as funding goes, BackerKit do have ads active. I'm not entirely sure what their plan is for the weekend. They haven't really run any newsletters yet, so I'm hoping that will make a big impact. But let's see, Valkyria weapon mounts at 350 sec. At 350k, we will release some Valkyria compatible weapons systems for the what is the word I'm looking for? For the
Shop.
no, like a aspirant pirate
Okay.
or mercenary company. Small mercenary company. Come on, if you got a real one, you're gonna get a gunship. Outfit. So the deal with this one is it is compatible with the PDCs, but you only get a limited range. So you would actually have to point the ship in this case, but you still get you can still swivel it, but you don't have the same orientation. And Albin also made a version here where it can just plug into where you would normally have the RCS. So you can put it down here, for example, where there's normally an antenna. And then I think the Ratatosk mission module, we'll probably have more things in between because I'd really like to get people excited and moving on this. So let's see. 400,000 sec. Right, so right now it's just a bunch of bullshit I'm writing, to be honest. And we can look at some of these things if we need to, but I just wanted to get something up. Let's save that and let's move this up a little bit higher so it's more obvious. Let's put it there. And that should just be automatic now. So I'm going to switch things up after I want to look at the chat again. What are people saying? Inception is not something inside of something else, you bangle. It is the beginning of something. We've had this conversation 3 times now. Yeah, but John, it's in reference to the film. The film Inception. Have you seen the film Inception? Where it's about a dream within a dream within a dream? Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Christopher Nolan film. Let's see. That sounds like a conception to me. You are in background. I've got to make a potato. Right. Yes. So John's hopefully focusing on that. Faster back in the day before the fins got to the water. I dreamed I saw Inception once, but I'm not sure. The dad jokes continue. So now, hopefully, if we refresh this, we should get our new stretch goal section. This really doesn't work well. This jump to button. This is not jumping to the right area at all. But now at least we have something there. to look forward to, and a little bit larger graphics that have been in the updates. So, focusing forward, there are options to do like social stretch goals and that sort of thing. One of the things I would like to do is commission some miniatures, especially suits. Back in the day, I think Flavored Pickle did our suits. Flavored Pickle has dropped off the face of the planet. I don't have all of the base files, so I might have to commission someone else to do a new line of miniatures. But I was hoping to kind of do like what we're going to do with Soul Survivor, but with the style of suits that are made for this. So I do have a graphic that I made. Let me see if I can get into products and pledges. No, it was up one level or two. Here's suit fixes. So this was my original sketch, which I just colored in and changed a little bit because I'm horrible with necks that are too short. So this would be more like our suit design. I would say it's kind of like a hybrid of three things. One of them being like Alien, Macross, and The Expanse. So it's somewhere in between, and that's where we're at on that one. And now that we're there, maybe I can... Did you have a scene I can open?
Yeah, yes, it's called Stream Preview. It should be...
Yes, a rather obvious name. Nice suit. Why, thank you. I clean up well.
Ooh.
I dreamed I saw Inception once, but I'm not sure. That's so good. Legendary quad piece is standard equipment? Yes, it is. So, I don't know why Albin keeps turning off the sensors, but do you have a layer for all of the struts and antennae, or are they just missing from this thing?
They're not implemented, that's why.
Okay. So, this is not a complete version of the ship, but we can look at our standard layout. So, I'm going to try turning off the nose, and we can see down into the upper deck, which is where your pilot/navigator would be. Remember, the Valkyria is more of a shuttle. So a couple of basic principles. It was initially created to shuttle cargo between surface and orbit, or act as a ship's boat. In Expanse terms, it's the equivalent of the Knight from the Cant, or Canterbury. And that was sort of like the design inspiration for it. So like, it will fill a similar role. The idea being like, it fills this role, but it's a different manufacturer, is the idea. It uses some older parts for Sleipnir as the basis. But as you can see, it's octagonal in shape. We've got the upper deck here, which has used the new Fenrir control panels to some degree. Then the deck below is where it gets a little bit more varied from our other ships. Also, you'll note that Albin has implemented these new grid forge style railings. They're really, you can tell here that this is just a visualization because they're intersecting with each other. But you know, there'll be some variations eventually, and they will be designed to print flat. Is the idea for strength and prosperity. But the idea of not having the clip built in, I think, would help quite a lot.
I did some tests and it turned out decently.
Very good. The deck below, we have a sort of a crew area here. We've got our grid forged floor tiles. You know, some screens and panels, the kind of like operations area. But also, you know, your water closet, you've got some seating for, you know, longer trips. You've got some storage lockers. You have some sleeping beds as well. What other kind of beds are there, Ben? Jeez. And this, of course, you could mix and match the floors using grid forge. So if you don't want to have that much bedding in there, you could just stick to this wall. Or even better, duplicate this wall instead on the opposite side. So there's plenty of options if you want to customize the interior now. And that's one of the things that we moved away from things built into the... before it was kind of built into the open lock clips. Now with grid forge, we can make it... I I love Grid Forge. It's so awesome. Swapping models on the fly. Let's see. Just double checking that. No, John didn't send any pictures. It's someone else. Oh, the Warbot. Oh, so yeah, we can just do a quick browser preview of. So our last campaign, the Fifth Frontier War. This is a work in progress of the Zidani Warbot. I think it's meant to be a tripod, not a quad pod. So that might require some difference, but this is the very first version I've seen of it, based on the art. So I just wanted to show that off. So we are working on Traveller in the background. We also have another Zidani Noble that's going through posing. We just wanted to do a few touch-ups because I don't know if this is the most recent one. It's not. I don't want to show off like when the posing didn't look that good, but here we go. Here it is. Opening browser. So this guy is just about ready for release. I'd say he'll be released on Monday. So this is the Zodani Noble in a, I guess, using psionics pose. There we go. And we're very close to finishing delivery of that campaign, although John has warned that there could be some delays with delivery of physical products. So let's see. More details on that to come when we know a little bit more information. And I need to get back to our chat. Here we go. Let's see. What other kinds of beds? Flower beds, I guess. Zidani Noble has a fez now. Fezzes are cool. They are indeed, Doctor. So yes, I would say together we'll call this the command module. The deck below, then we have the cargo module, and I really like what's going on in here. We've got some suit lockers right next to the airlock, which is convenient. For some reason, someone's left the airlock doors open.
What?
There are no airlock doors. We have, we might do a few refinements just around the edges to this section, but I like this diagonal ladder built into the walls. We've got some cabling going up to the RCS. I guess it's hidden in the walls for the fourth one. It's just going through either side, right? That's what's going on, right, Alvin?
Yes.
He knows he forgot. Note that we do. This happens all the time. Sometimes you gotta accept things as they are. You can see here we've actually left some compatibility in for how we've been mounting a few of the items in these ships. We do have some ideas for cargo. Like, one of the big things that we've never truly tackled is netting. And maybe we have some ideas about how we could do that. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that would be like stretch goal territory. So that's possibly something that might be coming up. And then there's only a very, very rough sketch of the engine room at the moment. But it is coming along nicely. We've got some tankage. The idea is to come to this level, then go down a little bit to the base so that you can get to this sort of console. It kind of might make sense if there's a console on each of the engines.
Yeah.
Rather than just one.
I think that's the one that's supposed to be, but I think there are old engines that ones.
Yeah, and then maybe with this extra space, we could probably rip some of the tanks off the, like in this opposite unused area here. We could rip some of the tanks off of the sphere. So for some like a big spherical tank or something like that. Error! Oh no! Looks like we're out of filament on one of the printers. Yes, the P1P is out. That sucks.
You want me to refill?
Yeah, if you can. Whoa! But yeah, that's coming along very nicely. I love how it looks. Alvin's done a wonderful job.
Thank you. That was not me retrieving my
No! It sounds like you dropped your guts, but I guess not. Let's go back to my scene instead. Guys, I'm so looking forward to having the weekend. I gotta be honest, I'm so tired. Don't save that one. Let's see. I love the size of the support eclipse blast that Samaflange says. My hover truck coming to my tribe for March. Oh, nice pimp there. Check that out on his tribe. Maybe I can grab a link. Blaster has done some sculpting for us in the past. Very good with alien designs. Let's see. My mini factory. I'm just opening this up on the other window whilst Maya loads. Blasted. There we go. Channel there. And here you go. So check out that if you're watching. Let's see. Hopefully the link works. So you love the size. The hover truck coming for March uses all supported clips and some modified supported clips, not just for holding together, but for detail. Well, there you go. Nice. Tamsin says, netting a print mesh with a note to use TPU. I think what we've been talking about is actually using the simulation features in Maya, because Maya is more than just a modeling package. Basically, we would make the net and then make it a soft object, set up some gravity, and then have it fall, and hopefully not spend too much time, because those kind of simulations too are notorious. Like, you need to get scaling right and that sort of thing, so it could require a little bit of finagling. Brian says, every Traveller campaign I played in, someone always suggests vacuuming the ship at some point. As in, you mean a vacuum, right? That's not vaxing a ship. Right. Oh my god, sorry. Supported clips are great for detail work. Yes, they are. They really are. And on the nose of the ships, I've left in some optional supported clip areas so that when we get to that stretch goal I was talking about, these expansion things, you could plug these into those if you want to make it look a little bit more busy. Oh, looks like we're auto-saving again. I have to say, I really, really love how Fenrir turned out. And even just looking at the Valkyrie, you'll notice that one of the big differences here is like the tiles are all, they're not cut to shape like they were on the other version, so it does vary somewhat. The interior, I think I've shown off enough probably. Or the thing is, I can't remember what I've shown because I've been working so much. If I take off the nose, here is the new Fenrir / Sleipnir refit bridge. And so you've got the upper deck area accessed by a ladder. You've got some PDC access areas. I guess you want to do some of this on the float when you can stop. Let's turn off the top deck here and look down into the main bridge area. Now, like I said, this thing is completed. I've done an animation actually of every level of this ship. I just need to put it together. Alright. Is it extruded? I don't know. He's not answering. The airlock level now just has a little bit more room. Never actually put our mercs together, so they look kind of cool. Very old models at this point. And these are our old suits, which obviously are a little bit more alien, but these were from Starship 1. Sorry about that. But all of this is integrated into the walls now. You could put a light kit in, but you would have to probably do a bit of drilling. It's not rigged up the same way that we used to have it rigged up for. Why does this shader keep messing up? It really bothers me when Maya does stuff like this. You tell it, hey, this needs to be this color, and then like you load it up again and it's like, oh, I'm back to gray, sorry. I don't like you. Does that work? It did. Okay, good. And then you got to double check that you didn't accidentally select a bunch of faces somewhere else on the object. So there we go. All right. So yeah, it sounds like things are going again. Yep, it's resumed. So I guess we can close this. And hopefully that will still be done 45 minutes. I guess a little bit too late for me. I was hoping I need to leave early today. I know I deserve to leave early today. Let's close this one off. Look down. This is one of the major changes here. Oh, what's going on there? Looks like we've got double geometry. So if I move that out, yeah, it looks like we've got a double version. That looks like an older version. Actually, I can almost guarantee that one can be deleted. So we don't have the artifacts. So we have the sort of living quarters. This would be the like regular crew bunks. You've got, you know, I like this little door in between. I love these new little door inserts actually. I had an issue of like making one of these. I still try and make the partitions look like they could fit the door inside of it. Sometimes, like with airlocks and things, it's like, where do those doors actually go? But I also feel like really I'm overthinking things. I should be having more of a toy sort of aspect. Here is the med bay. I love how this turned out compared to how it was before. Of course, if you don't want these built-in beds, you could just use open lock ones instead. We also have from Odyssey, I think we did some medical beds. Potentially you could swap out this wall thing for like, I guess the more chair-like versions that they had on the Rocinante if you want a more expansive look. I don't have a model for that at this point in time, but who knows?
Speaking of which,
yeah?
share, like, and subscribe.
You heard Albin, share, like, and subscribe. More importantly, share the campaign. Links in the description. Here we have the galley, which is fairly small and intimate on the Sleipnir. Let's turn that off and look down into the other crew quarters here. You've got your captain's cabin, and then you have, with a slightly more luxurious bathroom. Then you have the sort of like, I guess, crew area for, I guess, like non-commissioned officers, and then I guess the XO gets this room. And you can see one of our sleeping miniatures is there. Looking a bit dodgy. This is Jenna Lynn, who was one of our she was the stowaway.
Oh, yeah.
So she's hiding in a closet, basically, just come with a suit. So that's what's underneath the suit. So, Popsicles managed to make those models, made them available, and then when I said, hey, can I pay you? He disappeared. Huh. So, Popsicles, if you're hearing this, please let me pay you. Then we have our cargo bay with 2 decks. I am not 100% sure if maybe we should switch these out to make them more compatible with the... Like, I feel like this hole in the floor was from when the lift had to come up further. And at the moment, I feel like it doesn't come up as far as it used to. So I kind of feel like we need to swap some of these floors out for Grid Forge, but it's like, how much customization can you get? That looks a little low, too. No, it's this one's just too high. It's got floating floors. It's magical. So... These are feature complete, but need to be exported for printing. And I'm kind of going deck by deck, and this is one I want to show off. And Albin, I actually need your help.
What?
Because I put the engineering deck over there that I showed you this morning.
Yeah.
It's on the table.
I see. I was looking at the stream, and I was like,
Yeah, that's not useful.
No.
Let's go to the close-up camera. Hi guys, don't look at the Benjaminans, they're fine. Nothing to worry about.
I can't see where it is.
Over at the back. On the table. Left.
Oh,
there.
there we are. Oh,
All right.
I like how that slides up. Oh, that's so cool.
He's excited.
Yes.
And has forgotten he's not on camera. So, we have the Maya version. And we have the printed version. Oh, how cool is that? It looks so good. And I love the way that we made that little room in the Sleipnir for the fusion drive core. Because you can reenact your sort of like last moments of Spock from Star Trek 2. You got the window, you can see through, you can put his hand on the window. This is the Fenrir version. You can tell because the ladder well ends at that point. You can kind of see the finishing point for where the lift would go down. Of course, all of these floors are not floors. Well, they are floors. But this is a cool little feature. Got that little opening hatch, so that would let you get down into the actual fusion core. We got our 3D printer right there. It's been updated to modern area. And of course, this is all like grid forged, so you can just lift it out. And if you want to replace that with another workshop or shelving or that sort of thing, you could. I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. And I've got decks all over the place at the moment. So I guess I could show you guys. Let's put this together. It's not 100% complete. Well, nothing is. So maybe I should relax with it. Oh, my headphones are in the way. It's like, why is this not working? You want to see my collection of crowns, guys? Wow, this is not lining up well. This is something I'm addressing in the next version, but whoop, 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 whoop. I also don't want to create an accident. But this is Nidhogg's top with all the missiles in.
Oh. Should rename it Hedgehog.
You can see at the moment they're very shaky, so I'm going to show off what I've done to address that. You can see here, this was the original level. I've got a new one now, and I'm also putting together some other cool stuff like deciding what's going in. So for example, this is one of the original top looked like this on one of the walls, and I created a little bit of variation by having this sort of like emergency exit airlock. So let's switch back to Maya, and also that will let me see the chat because I don't need to see what my camera is seeing. So what have people been saying? Cod! Exactly. That odd smell is a bag of formerly frozen prawns that the old lag scout who previously operated the ship has left hidden somewhere in the ventilation system. It's a service tradition. As if scouts didn't already have issues with their ventilation systems. But yes, I was showing this off, so then the last thing would be to drop this off and you can kind of see down into the core. There's a couple of floors here that haven't come along with it. This is the most unchanged section of the ship, I would say. But all of the floor plating has changed and been modified. So there were some questions about, like, I think people are trying to figure out, is it worth paying for the Sleipnir or Fenrir at this point in time? I would say the optimal thing to do would be, if you really don't want to, like if you want to get the cheapest possible deal and you don't care about not having instructions for the Fenrir, what you could technically do, I think, is just wait until the campaign is finished and then get the Sleipnir refit update or upgrade, I guess, which we'll put out later. It'll be about $25 per ship. So Fenrir upgrade or Sleipnir upgrade will be designed for people that already own those ships, especially the Kickstarter versions. Technically, if you're in the Kickstarter version, you will have the parts still to create a Fenrir, just without the instructions, but maybe you have access to 3DO. Who knows? I think that'll be the best way to serve it, but I can tell you now, if you wanted to get the instructions and parts for both ships as an upgrade, it'll be about the equivalent of upgrading to the all-in pledge. That's where we're at the moment. There is a bit of funny business going on at the moment with currencies. Part of it is just, one day there's going to be tariffs, the next day there's not going to be tariffs. Now there are tariffs again. There's tariffs from this end, tariffs from that end.
You get tariff.
You get the idea. So the krona against the dollar is fluctuating, so we kind of had to set pricing based on what it was when we started the campaign. How it ends, maybe you guys end up with a really good deal. Maybe you don't. But when it gets to my mini factory, we'll be having prices in US dollars instead, and we'll be basing it based off where it was. Brian is very tired. Well, I have tons of beds here. Ben has his deck out. Oh, God. Trevor says, is there still a wall insert in the stairwell? You mean in these ships? So the way that this works now is it has 3 parts, 4 if you include the door. So it's like this. The back plate is one part. The second part is, the front part. You have a tile that you can set with these plugs, and you have the sliding door in between. So the idea is, like, before there was issues with like bridging, where the airlock door really wouldn't fit in well. There's now like a little peg you can move from side to side. If you clean that up nice, it'll move very smooth. And then the other issue is painting. It's a pain in the ass to get in there and paint if it's all these separate parts. So now it just uses, this is the thing that GridForge has given us. It's the possibility to use the clip holes here instead, so we can easily separate that. If we'd have used OpenLock, you can see how much more room that takes up. So yeah, that's one of the improvements and quality of life improvements. The multi-part stairwell is awesome. Yay! Just an idea to use old 3D printers as war games terrain for a shipyard table. Yeah, that's not bad. You could use it as like a gantry. Luckily, there's no tariffs for STL files. Yes, exactly. Like physical prints, that's maybe more of an issue, but STL files, we're good. On the engineering deck. Yeah, okay, you want to see that. Alright, so let's hide these again real quick. I think we want to hide these. And then we can maybe isolate this section so we can see it without all this other nonsense going on. So this is still a multi-part wall. So this is separate and prints the opposite direction. This is kind of like the prequel to Starship: The Next Generation when we started splitting walls. The bottom section also has a piece that slots into place, but now it interfaces instead with these plugs on a similar sort of shape. So again, the design principle is you should be able to get into it with a paintbrush without too many issues. So we've only got 2 walls here and the base, and then there's even these little wedges that are included as a part of that. Technically, we probably shouldn't have included those now that I think about it, but I think part of it is just having support. Yeah, we've been trying to figure out nice ways to do those floors. So yeah, that's basically how it works now. And it just slots into place, but you'll notice the walls are a little bit thicker now, so you can get miniatures in to more sections. I think a base will fit in there okay. Maybe not in front of the printer entirely, but yeah, there are more options than there used to be. Alright, and there we go. Let's see. If I recall that piece from the original Sloopnir, I'm planning to use my old Neptunes as gantries in my spaceport and maybe a retractable landing pads. Yeah, cool. Shogol is saying, I think Trevor is saying that the physical print you showed was different than the model you are displaying. Physical print of what? Oh, no, it shouldn't be. It should not be. It was definitely based on that level. So Trevor, let's see what else Trevor was asking. Is there still a wall insert in the stairwell? Yeah, it was all there. It's all based off that. You saw the thin top. Now Albin's moved it back, so we won't worry about that. We'll move on. We've only got 10 minutes anyway. So let me show off what I was talking about with the top of Nidhogg. So underneath we've got the bridge. There's one or two parts I just haven't... I've redone the bridge several times, wanting to base it off the Pella. Ultimately, it just doesn't feel like it's just a little too tiny. Actually, the real issue is the flooring, having enough room here. So there could be an option or a solution here. I just need to think a little bit more about how to solve it, but it would be nice to have a little... the Pella has this little command area where you can kind of see through a half deck, I guess. But I needed to put the ladder well back here, so I'm not entirely finished with this. But I think the placement of the ladder is finalized. One option would be to have the other ladders here running on the outside rather than having this well. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I want to look at what Albin's done too a little bit more. But the level above is complete. So when I was showing the Sleipnir, I'm just going to do a focus here so I can look at this a bit more. Here we have sort of... What are you giggling at now?
Overboard just wrote something in the chat.
I know these ships are huge as is, but should they print fine if you wanted 32 mil? I'm a madman. Yes, they will. Absolutely. And since all of the parts, I think, fit on an A1 Mini, as long as you've got, like, you know, a sort of, like, 30 centimeter build plate area, I'd say it's quite safe. Yeah, mechanically, what you might have issues with are, like, the print-in-place doors and... like turrets and things might behave a little bit differently and require a little bit of finagling. What size are G.I. Joe figures? 1 to 18, I believe. You know, you can laugh, but I've seen people do it. I've seen Shuttle Alpha in 1 to 18.
What?
Yep.
That sounds massive.
Yep. So this is something I did this morning where I just thought, look, I can show you guys on camera. So let me switch to the close-up. This is the original version of the missile holders, or I guess the torpedo tubes. It's quite bare bones. You can see some stringing in there. I haven't done any cleanup. And I found this to be way too loose. I'm sorry that it's not focusing. It's because Benjamin is in focus in the background. And that is just right. So you can see how simple it is. Also, this wall doesn't have any real detail. It's quite a thin wall. And this is the old style too, where you can see this is pretty much the same, but on the opposite end, I think we saw a Hannes. The officers' quarters are quite different. So now they have this awesome little office area for the captain. So this is the captain's room. The only thing is really missing is like a seat somewhere, so it would be cool to like put it... Technically though, I've made it now so that there are some grids in these. And John had this awesome idea. Sorry, I realize I'm not showing my screen. So this is GridForge based now. It used to be solid. Unfortunately, when we do integrate the grids, we have to choose a thickness for it. So I've chosen a snugness level 3 for the base because it's kind of in between. It is literally in between the 7 different levels you can choose with GridForge. But I needed this clip hole here to keep the ship together more because I just needed more than one clip point. So that's why it's integrated. But you can see there's a slight indentation now with these. I've made these sort of tracks and these little flippers, I'm calling them. It's kind of like a pinball machine sort of arrangement is my thinking. But in principle it's there so that you saw how wobbly those torpedoes were. This is a solution for that. and then I just made some indentations in the top two, so it looked a little bit busier than it did before. Then you've got your, I guess, officers' quarters. So this would be for your XO and maybe like some NCOs or something like that. The level above, we've got more torpedo tubes here with torpedoes in them. I think we could use some variations of torpedoes too as a possible expansion. I'd love to do something like that. Next week is going to be a lot more focus on stretch goals, I think. And up here I thought, this is the door I added that I was showing off before. I think it came out really nice. And again with the shaders, what is going on there? It's like sometimes you reopen a scene and all of a sudden just one or two polygons are late. I decided to do my own thing. Okay, they're bugged out. So let's choose a different shader and then put it back. See, this is the crap we're working with Maya. And I really just want some stability in the program. But in here I was thinking we could have a barracks or rec area. So you could just, I think we'll just have some standing like bunk beds. And we've basically got this area to work with. And then in the middle, maybe you just have an entertainment system or something. And again, we have these issues of these oddly shaded faces. So frustrating. Let's go to red glow. And then we'll go back to dark gray. I think it's because it's some kind of history bug. There's a whole bunch of issues there too. I need to stop focusing on this. Hell, I need to wrap things up, to be honest, in a minute. But I haven't looked at the chat. So let's look at the chat one more time, look at the campaign one more time, and then we'll wrap things up for now. We'll be adding more information as we get questions. So I guess Il Lupo Cativo, you got the answer to your question when it was, Ben, what are those strange pinball things? It's just a sorting system to get the torpedoes into the tubes, because again, if we look at the top deck, and there is actually yet another deck in here possibly, I've left it open, so we could possibly have higher bunk beds or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, you have the torpedo tubes here, so if I were to open these, you can kind of see down beneath. And we basically just want to get this aligned right. So it's a sorting system for the ordnance. And you would front load these as well. So I will also carry out those design improvements to the original torpedo tubes. They have been enhanced somewhat. Like this base now has these cavities, this more solid connection. These are some of the things that I'll do as proper free updates to the existing files once we get to that point. Basically, Old Sleipnir will get mechanical abilities, features like printability issues. Stretch goals will get updated because they are their own products. I think there is some quality. I didn't need to do a free update. There's a lot of work that's gone into it. Hopefully people will support us with the Sleipnir. If not now, then with an upgrade later. But we have 3 brand new ships, so there's plenty to choose from. You can always just, buy us a beer if you don't have the funds right now. And I should mention, like Kickstarter, the backer kit does not take money up front. So you're not charged unless the campaign is successful, and even then, not until after the campaign finishes. So, if you print these ships in magnetic filament and put magnets in the feet of the miniatures, you could do spacewalks. You could. That sounds expensive. Mm-hmm. Boarding torpedoes, 1 torpedo per marine. Oof, that would be tight. The claustrophobia. Oh, yeah, no, that sounds like a nightmare to me. Protomolecule torpedoes. Oh, more like stealth ones? The shape of the tubes might be an issue for that. We'll have to see. But yeah, we could certainly, it's a one-way trip, into the hull. It's a biological weapon because it's You're splattering the marine. All right. Maybe if they've like got their water infested like we do right now, it's like, oh, the ship got dysentery. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else in the chat? That interface for changing a material is a nightmare of a UX. Agreed, John. Agreed. HE torpedoes, plasma torpedoes, submunition torpedoes, rods of God. The possibilities are endless. Indeed. Although the main thing is that we need to have like an aesthetic look for different ones. But yeah, I can totally see that being some kind of stretch goal or add-on or that sort of thing. Also, there have been questions regarding add-ons right now. So let me finish up by going to the campaign page again. And we can look at the pledge levels and add-ons. Actually, the add-ons is what we're talking about. So if you wanted to add a physical print, I can see now this. Oh, John, we found a way for people to get around the limit. So what's happening is that they're buying the physical models as an add-on rather than the STL version. I got asked by people to add the STLs for... Oh, I didn't add a picture for the Ratatosk. For the ships. So that if you just buy, say, the Valkyria and you want to get the Sleipnir refit or something like that, you can purchase those two things along with a different level. So they're now available. The Sleipnir crew, that is the original crew from the Sleipnir campaign in 2020. However, Papsicles has done another 7 miniatures for the lying down position for our crew, and it does include all of the stretch goal human crew from that campaign. So if you already own that, you don't need to get that. It's also not included with other things. We haven't added any exclusive add-ons yet. But what we will add is ship miniatures, so that will be included in the all-in pledge. Stretch goals are included with every pledge where they suit, obviously, the physical one. No, because we're not printing them out. But you could probably ask John for extra commissions when you get to make your order, if that's the case. And yes, you will be able to upgrade this after the fact to larger ships. At this point in time, the US dollar is too volatile, and also we don't know exactly how much materials these ships are going to use fully finished. I haven't even weighed Ratatosk or the Nidhogg yet. Nidhogg, I'd say 6 kilos. We know that the painted, the Valkyria without its interior was about 1 kilo, 1.1 kilo. So they are fairly heavy and hefty, which is impacting things. Yeah, they're not connected, apparently, that pool. So it still says 98 remaining for the physical pledge. I was like, oh, no one's really interested in this. And then we've sold 8 ships at least. So that's not too bad. So you will be able to upgrade them, but like Nidhogg, honestly, we're probably like in the $450 range. It's a very large ship. And we don't want to commit to that yet. We need to know more about it. So if you pledge physical now, once it gets to that point in time, because we're not going to start deliveries until Q4. So closer to that time, you'll be offered, hey, do you want more than just the Valkyria, or do you want to upgrade the Valkyria, pay the difference, and then pay shipping and handling? And hopefully this tariff nonsense is gone by that point. It is US based. You need to keep that in mind. Tariffs obviously are not an us thing. That's something you would pay for with an import. Lovely that STLs aren't affected. So yeah, I did add some more sections to the story, a few more updates. So if you have questions about these things, including delivery, hey, it worked for once. It gives you a status update on where we're at. I need to add some more pretty pictures, but otherwise we're looking good. And again, the link to the campaign is down below, and I can see someone backed during this live stream. So thank you very much for that. Apparently the live stream is very, very much behind. I don't know why I felt compelled to get us in real time, especially since it's going to be an Inception situation here very soon, as you can see. Very nice. Which is maybe a good place to end. Q4 begin printing times. Ship from US or possibly from Sweden, depending on how the world goes. Meaning John would like to move here if possible. For some reason. I don't know why. Why are you not enjoying life in the US, John? Why are you not enjoying that? Oh no, Infinite Mirror. We'll move back to the Nidhogg so you can see how pretty this ship is in 3 dimensions. I really wish the media would capture this a little bit better. Even with just viewport shaders, you can see that it has really cool angles, so it just looks different depending on which angle you're looking at it. And that goes for all the ships. I'm really proud of how distinct we've been able to make these. And originally we'd thought like, oh, the Ratatosk and Nidhogg would have the same kind of engines, and I'm really glad we went separate. These ones are a lot more, shall we say, Martian-y. And I realized we've got a single engine version, we've got a triple engine version, we've got a quadruple engine version, we have a 5 engine version and a 7 engine version. So we need something that maybe has 2 engines. And I mean, the Nidhogg, you could actually cut out the last engine instead if you wanted to. Yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. We stream every Friday. Like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing how our progress goes. There'll be a ton of stretch goals coming at the beginning of next week. I am going to try and take a day or 2 off. Yeah, I'm hesitant to do that because I kind of feel like I might end up sick if I do that. Septuple. Nice. Lovely word, Trevor. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. Nice to see some new people in chat, or new old people coming back and having the time to talk. It's great to hang out on Fridays. Right now though, I'm going to get ready for my weekend. I hope you guys can too, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.
Bye.